Dad was on the school, or on the bank board of directors. He said, and my uncle, Torval Hallberg,
Okay.
was married to Marie.
Yes, I remember Marie.
And Dad said they need some help down the bank. Can you get on there? So I went, started out as a flunky. And 24 years later, I was the president. They gave me a job doing janitorial work. I could shovel coal into the basement and shovel the ashes out, sweep the floors, and clean out the spittoons. They had a shiny brass spittoon that was in the lobby where I can remember old Seth Spearster used to come in there, sit and spit his dragon juice in there.
And you had to
He
clean
and Dad would sit there and talk. It was a hot July day, and neither one of them could hear. And Dad sat down and he says, "How's your wife, Seth?" It was a hot day in July. He says, "Pretty hot." Dad kind of smiled and said, "That's nice." Jim Baker was working in the bank then. I thought he was going to have a fit. He laughed so he couldn't stand this. Do I look like the president of the bug house?
You look like the president of the bank, even though you were shoveling coal in those days.
Well, they had a coal furnace in the basement. They had a hole about as big as that TV screen back there in the wall where I could shovel coal onto the floor and shovel it into the furnace when it needed it. Then the ashes I take out and throw it back through the same hole and pile them out and behind the bank, and then until somebody would haul them away.
How much did you earn?
What?
What was your wage? What did they pay you for?
I got $15 a month. And I worked that way, I think it was 9.5 years. Then I got up to $130 a month.
You see?
We had bank examiners one day, and a lady come in with some change, or a man, I don't know, said, put it in, and this Johnson counted it out, and he said, she thought she knew how much there was. He said, no, he said there wasn't, but he was slipping a few pennies aside, didn't count them, and he'd keep them. And the bank examiners were there one day, and they caught him in the act. That ended his banking career. Then we went, Maury talked me into going to California.
Yeah.
And when they come back again, Dad says, you better go back to the bank. They need help. So that's when I went to the bank the second time.
And
Uncle Torval had me write up remittances. That's where you send checks on other banks to a clearance bank like Eau Claire or Minneapolis. And I'd write them up by hand. Well, I was teller, then I got to be cashier. And then I kept buying a little bank stock every once in a while. And then once in a while they'd declare a dividend. You could get so many shares of bank stock instead. That's how I got started. One time I think I was the biggest shareholder in the bank. And then old John Ward, he said, I was going to get ready to retire at 62, I told him. He said, well, why don't you sell them shares to the present directors, because I'm afraid they'll get some big bank will come in and take it over. So well, that was a good idea. I wanted to be a home-owned bank. I don't think the paper was hardly dry before they sold out to United Bank. I like waiting on customers, so the president was out waiting in the window, waiting on customers, because I like to meet farmer friends and other friends.
And how long did you work at the bank?
Huh?
How long did you work at the bank?
Well, I think it was about 34 and a half years altogether.